I hope I'm audible to all of you. My apologies for late start of the class. Some, official work is going on regarding your internship. So very soon you will get a notification about your internship. So I, along with the chairman साहब, is just doing the final shape to the internship program. तो इसी वजह से थोड़ा सा क्लास मेरी लेट हो गई. मैं उन्हीं के साथ बैठा हुआ था और आपके इंटर्नशिप से रिलेटेड डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूँ. But now I am ready to start the class. So, my dear students, uh, if you recall, we have a detailed discussion on Islamic economic system versus conventional economic system, and also I tried my level best to differentiate between the two systems. I am sure that you are in a position to understand the difference between the two systems, and that is the purpose. Now, one of the important feature of Islamic economic system, which I have already discussed it with you, is the concept of competition and the concept of cooperation. तो आप इन दो पॉइंट्स को जरूर नोट कर लीजिए that when we talk about the Islamic economic system or any economic system, the competition, the nature of competition, and the cooperation, these are the two important points that needs to be properly elaborated. Now, when we talk about the concept of competition, the point is very much clear. In this context of competition and cooperation, first and the foremost thing that needs to be understood is about the treatment of risk. Which treatment of risk? That is, how much and in which way you are going to take about the risk. Now, what is this risk all about? I'm saying the concept of risk from the point of view of Islamic economics. What are the key guidelines about the risk which are involved in any type of business organization or any industry? So, what do you, if you have to explain this concept to someone who is not from the background of Islamic banking and finance, and you want to tell them about the concept of risk, तो आप क्या बात बताएंगे about risk management, about risk, which differentiate Islamic economic system, Islamic financial system with conventional financial system? Anybody out of you? Yes. Bilal? Bilal, am I audible to you? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
So, Bilal, will you please elaborate this point? मैंने कहा कि अगर हमें किसी नॉन इस्लामिक बैंकर को ये बात बतानी हो रिस्क, तो रिस्क के बारे में हम क्या चीज बताएंगे? विच सिंगल स्टेटमेंट आई विल टेल देम so that they can differentiate the Islamic system vis-a-vis to conventional system? Aisha?
Yes, sir. Sir, risk is something that we need to take for in exchange of a reward.
Okay, good, very good. Nidan, what do you say? Any single statement about risk that I would like to tell them?
Amount of risk.
A bit louder. I'm not able to hear you.
Amount of risk is directly
No, I'm
proportional
sorry, Nidan. I'm sorry.
to
I'm
the
not able
amount
to
of
hear you.
returns that they expect.
I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is not proper. Your voice is not reaching at my end.
Sir, the amount of risk we are taking is directly proportional to the amount of return we are expecting.
Okay. Umama?
Sir, amount of risk is directly proportional to the return we are expecting.
Okay. Yes, Umama?
And also too much risk is not too much of excessive risk is not halal in Islamic banking.
Okay, fine, Nidan. Thank you. Yes, Umama, please carry on. That is the absolute answer which I'm looking for. This is the information. Risk and the concept of risk is almost same. The important issue is that Islamic economic system talks about risk sharing, whereas conventional economic system talks about risk transferring. So you might have learned in your paper of basics of Islamic finance that all the products which are designed in Islamic banking and finance, like murahaba, musharaka, mudarba, ijara, maybe you have heard about these names, or other various types of contracts which are signed under Islamic financial system, they are based on the principle of risk sharing. यहाँ पे रिस्क को शेयर किया जाता है. व्हाट इज रिस्क शेयरिंग? प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस शेयरिंग. अगर प्रॉफिट होगा तो वो भी शेयर किया जाएगा, अगर लॉस होगा तो वो भी शेयर किया जाएगा. So the concept of risk sharing is very, very important thing. Whereas in conventional economic system, risk is not shared; it is transferred from one entity to another entity. Right? That is the core point of difference between the two, and we have to keep in our mind that we have to understand this point. So, what is this risk sharing arrangement is all about? Risk sharing element is all about हम कैसे इसको risk sharing करते हैं. That whenever we develop any portfolio of investment, जब भी हम कोई investment का portfolio develop करते हैं, so we calculate the level of risk involved, and that level of risk involved can be easily calculated by applying the theories of probability and other mathematical concept, which will give us an idea about the type of risk or type of the loss which we can incur in this type of business. So when we design the contract, we incorporate this possibility of risk in the contract, and all the contracting parties are properly informed about the risk beforehand, and we developed a mechanism based on that we can share the risk. Like the mechanism would be, the risk can be shared on the basis of the capital invested. If my share of investment is high, I am more liable of risk. If my capital investment is low, then I am less susceptible to risk sharing as compared to someone who will have a higher share in capital. तो जिसका जितना ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा वो उतना ज्यादा रिस्क को शेयर करेगा, और जिसका जितना कम इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा वो उतना कम रिस्क को शेयर करेगा. So one very fundamental principle of risk sharing is proportionate to your capital investment. That is, very, very important concept of risk sharing. That is why in Islamic banking, lot of focus is on development of entrepreneur and innovation. हमारे यहाँ इस्लामिक बैंकिंग, इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम में जो फोकस है वो इंटरप्राइज पे इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. Why? Because enterprise or the company or the organization work for their own profit. अब कोई कंपनी अगर ग्रो कर रही है, कोई कंपनी प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, तो वहां पर उनके स्टेक होल्डर को इतना बेनिफिट नहीं होता जितना उनके ओनर को होता है. So Islamic economic system is slightly against of that creation of enterprises. Rather than Islamic economic system talks about the development of an entrepreneur who has a capability to share the risk and also the innovations. अभी देखिए कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट बात है. Our system is traditional. We are following the principle which are laid down by our rule book, by our Sharia, by our religion, but our approach is very new. Islamic economic system always advocate the innovation, the newness in the system, and that is why the focus is more on the development of the entrepreneur and innovation rather than running the traditional type of organization. So that is a very important concept that you have to understand. Do you have any idea about the various types of product offered under Islamic banking system or Islamic financial system? Maybe Dr. Tariq has briefed you about the various products. Are you aware of that? Bilal, am I audible to you? मोहम्मद बिलाल खान, am I audible? अच्छा, तो आप में से कोई मुझे बताएगा, कोई 2 प्रोडक्ट्स के नाम बताएगा इस्लामिक बैंकिंग के?
सर इस्लामिक इंश्योरेंस एंड इस्लामिक बॉन्ड्स.
इंश्योरेंस, इस्लामिक. मैंने ये तो प्रोडक्ट मैं पूछ रहा हूँ द टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. दीज आर द प्रोडक्ट्स. Huh?
वकाला, तवर्रुक,
No. It's not.
मुबारहा, इस्तिस्ना.
Yes. Right. It starts from the fundamental ijara, which is leasing. Then we have musharka, that is partnership. Then we have murahaba, cost plus, right? Then we have mudarba, partnership. Then we have wakala. Then we have kafala, and all the other hybrid type of product which are available, which are the combination of the various types of contracts. तो इन सारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के जो नाम आपको दिए जा रहे हैं, either we start from ijara, we start from musharka, mudarba, murahaba, all these products, the focus is on risk sharing mechanism. अगर आप उसके अंडरलाइन मैकेनिज्म अगर आपको बताया गया है या आप नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर में उसको पढ़ेंगे, तो आप देखेंगे कि उनके अंडरलाइन मैकेनिज्म जो हैं वो सारे मैकेनिज्म प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस शेयरिंग मैकेनिज्म के ऊपर है, रिस्क शेयरिंग मैकेनिज्म के ऊपर है। ये एक बड़ा ही फंडामेंटल कंसेप्ट है जो इस्लामिक बैंकिंग के अंदर आता है। तो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू शुड हैव एट लीस्ट गो थ्रू द वर्किंग मैकेनिज्म ऑफ दीस टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स। ठीक है। Another important point which is very fundamental, like risk, which you all are very much clear about that, because that is the most fundamental prohibition, and that prohibition is the prohibition of riba. We call it a usury also, and we call it as interest also. So you should be aware of that concept, that any Islamic financial system, any economic system which is based on Islamic principles is totally against the creation and the distribution of any type of riba. कोई भी सिस्टम जो इस्लामिक प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर बेस्ड है वो बिल्कुल खिलाफ है रिस्क रिबा क्रिएशन के, इंटरेस्ट क्रिएशन के और रिबा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के, दोनों चीजों। वी हैव अ क्लियर कट प्रोहिबिशन फ्रॉम आवर सोर्स, that is from Quran and from Sunnah and other holy books, and also from other religions too, that any conventional or any social or just economic system that is against the principle of riba or the creation of interest. So we have to understand this point, and this has already been established. ये पाया गया है, देखा गया है कि the stability of any economic system, when we talk about this point, the stability of any economic system is based on their principle, and prohibition of riba leads to high stable system. So if you want to increase the stability of the system, prohibition of riba is necessary. So that is very, very important from the point of view of from the point of view of Islamic economic system. Another important point, you may please note it down, that we have discussed a lot about organization. We have discussed a lot about competition. We have discussed a lot about prohibitions, but very little point has been discussed about the consumer or customer. Whereas as a student of business management, you have learned the paper of marketing management, that the focal point of all the business organizations these days are the consumer. What is the status of consumer in Islamic financial system is very, very important. What is the status? So let me give you a brief idea about the role of consumers in an Islamic economic system. First of all, as a consumer, we always expect a market to behave like a competitive market. So a market should be a competitive market, which is maybe a perfect, competition, or it may be an oligopoly. But it should not be the concept of monopoly. Monopolistic market is discouraged because that is not in favor of consumers. Consumer centric or consumer favored market is one which is full of competitor, and consumers have a broader choice of selection. So when will you have a better choice of selection? you will have a better choice of selection once you have a high level of competition in the system. So that is for very very important point to understand. Diversity and cultural differences is the need of the hour, and it is also the requirement of the market. Islamic economic system clearly recognize and encourage the diversity among the consumers based on their choice, based on their taste, and based on their culture. इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम इस बात को कभी भी एडवोकेट नहीं करता कि आप किसी एक पर्टिकुलर मार्केट को सर्व करते रहिए. पर्टिकुलर मार्केट का मतलब ये होमोजीनियस टाइप ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स. Islamic economic system always system which advocates heterogeneity, and that heterogeneity is maintained if you have a diversity in terms of taste and preferences and in terms of their choices. So you understand this point. This is only possible if we move from one geographical location to another geographical location. So we are not serving only American, we are not serving only Australian, we are not serving only Arabs. We are serving a wide range of consumers which moves from Russia to America to Australia to Arabs and to India. So diversity in consumer choice is very very important point that you have to understand. In consumer rights needs to be properly protected. Protection of consumer rights is a fundamental right of a consumer, and that needs to be propagated with utmost sincerity in the market to exist. Islamic economic system always talks about that protection, right? And like any other any other important point, we have to understand this thing that we should have a mechanism, we should have regulatory agencies which can monitor and which can make changes in consumer market and monitor the rights of the consumer properly. So grievance and grievance redressal mechanism is the necessary element of Islamic economic system. कंज्यूमर होने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको कोई पहचान नहीं है. आपकी पहचान है, आपको लोग जानते हैं और आपके राइट्स को पूरा प्रोटेक्ट किया जाता है ताकि आपको अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम या कंप्लेंट है, so there should be a proper mechanism of its redressal. There is a proper mechanism of handling it properly. That's a very important point that you have to understand. We are working in the era where we are talking a lot about sustainability. We are talking a lot about environmental protection. We are talking a lot about waste management. Islamic economic system years ago is based on the principles of sustainability. लोग तो आज बात कर रहे हैं sustainability की. हमारा economic system जो है वो तो start ही इस concept से हुआ है कि we work for the welfare of humankind. And when will you work for the welfare of humankind? When you protect, when you will not waste, and when you save your resources. तो अगर आप अपने रिसोर्सेज को सही से यूज करेंगे, उनके वेस्टेज को होने नहीं देंगे और ऐसा कोई काम नहीं करेंगे जो हमारे रिसोर्सेज को नुकसान पहुंचाए. दिस इज ऑल द फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ सस्टेनेबिलिटी. Islamic economic system clearly identify and clearly uphold the principles of sustainability from consumers point of view. और consumers point of view से इस बात को भी किया जाता है कि कोई भी रिसोर्स जो कंज्यूमर यूज कर रहा है वो वेस्ट नहीं होना चाहिए, वो गलत नहीं होना चाहिए, एंड ऑप्टिमल यूटिलाइजेशन शुड बी देयर. दैट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स राइट इन इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम. इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम इस बात को इनकरेज नहीं करता कि आप 4-4 कार खरीदें, और ना ही इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम ये कहता है कि आप एक भी कार ना खरीदें. इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम इस बात को इनकरेज नहीं करता कि आप लोन ले लेकर 4 घर खरीदें या 4 प्रॉपर्टी आप परचेज करें. और एक तरफ इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम इसको भी अगेंस्ट नहीं करता कि आप अपना घर भी ना बनवाएं, अपनी प्रॉपर्टी भी ओन ना करें. यू शुड हैव योर ओन एसेट्स, बट दैट एसेट्स शुड बी guided and should be earned from your own income. It should not be earned from the incomes of other, and that is what the problem. Conventional economic system में क्या होता है कि आपके पास इतनी इनकम नहीं है, आपके पास इतना सोर्स ऑफ इनकम नहीं है, ना आपके पास कोई ऐसा लॉजिक है. लेकिन जब आपके एसेट्स देखे जाते हैं तो यू हैव लॉन्ग लिस्ट ऑफ एसेट्स. मेरे पास 4 कारें हैं, मेरे पास 3 घर हैं, मेरे पास ऐसी ऐसी चीजें जिनको मैं अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन आई डू हैव दैट बिकॉज ऑफ द रीजन दैट द इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम हेल्प मी आउट इन गेटिंग दोस. And what is the result? The result is that I land into a trap of debt. होता क्या है कि मैं उधार और कर्ज के एक जाल में फंस जाता हूँ, जिसे कहते हैं ट्रैप, डेट ट्रैप. तो ये जो कंसेप्ट डेट का है, ये बड़ा ही खतरनाक कंसेप्ट है. इसको इसको तो लोगों ने ये तक कहा है कि डेट इज व्हाट? डेट इज वेपन्स ऑफ मास डिस्ट्रक्शन. दिस इज अ वेपन्स ऑफ मास डिस्ट्रक्शन. Islamic economic system fully advocate the rights of consumers, and it encourages the consumer to own only those portion of asset which you can earn from your own income. क्या आपको मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ? Am I able to make you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Bilal, are you getting the point now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm addressing you, but I think you have some problem in your connection, है ना?
Yes, sir. I had a problem. It's fixed now.
No problem. That's all. So, Umama, Aisha,
Yes, sir.
Is the point which I am discussing you is clear? Afra, is the point clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So that is what you have to understand. So if I quickly summarize about the consumers, I am saying that consumers would love to work if the environment is competitive. So Islamic economic system provides them a competitive environment. They have a choice to select. Their rights are properly reserved and protected, and consumers are properly aware about the optimal utilization of resources for the principles of sustainability. आप कंज्यूमर्स को पूरी तरीके से बताएंगे, उसको अवेयर करेंगे about the optimal utilization of resources so that there should not be any problem of wastages. I would like to share with you another very important point, because we are talking about sustainability. The concept of social organization, the concept of uh, I would say cooperative ventures, I'm saying, is very very relevant in Islamic economic system. हमारे यहाँ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को सिर्फ ये नहीं लिया जाता कि दे विल वर्क फॉर देयर वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइजेशन एज propounded by the conventional theories of financial management and conventional economics. हमारे यहाँ organizations are beyond profit maximization. They will work for their profit, but not at the cost of social welfare. The priority is social welfare. But for social welfare, you should have money to operate. You should have capital. You should have profit. तो जैसे किसी ने कहा है कि चैरिटी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम होम. चैरिटी ये नहीं होती कि आप बाहर काम कर रहे हैं और घर में कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो चैरिटी इज नॉट अबाउट हेल्पिंग अदर्स. चैरिटी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम helping your own first. So same is that you want to do charity, you want to do social work, you should economically sound. You should because not operate to understand. And people are working together hand in hand, and they work for the welfare of humankind. That's a concept of cooperative, ventures. In सब चीजों में the role of the government, the role of the state is very important. So Islamic economic system only survive if the state helps them in getting work as per their principles. And the ideology of the state and the ideology of the government is that it propagates the brotherhood, it propagates the social cooperation, and it propagates the sustainability and long-term welfare of the humankind. तो अगर ऐसा आइडियोलॉजी है स्टेट की, जो कि अक्सर होती है और सब जगह है, every government is willing to work for their people, every government is actually doing the concept of cooperation and brotherhood, then and only Islamic economic system works. So the role of public organization, the role of government organizations are very very important in Islamic economic system. मैं आप इस बात को इसलिए क्लियर करना चाह रहा था क्योंकि अभी मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले आपसे कहा था कि इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को और इनोवेशन को बहुत प्रोपोगेट करता है, लेकिन साथ के साथ hand in hand we cannot underestimate the role of public organizations. Public organization is like a backbone. How can we imagine an economic system without the role of government? So the role of government is like the backbone of the economic system, and that needs to be properly done. I have already discussed this point with you in my initial concept that the gap between poor and rich needs to be shortened, needs to be filled up. Now, how can it be possible? This can only be possible if we have a proper system of distribution. So we have discussed this point with you that distribution system should be very efficient. और अब भाई आपने देखा है कि distribution of the assets, distribution of the wealth needs to be very very efficient to attain the objectives of brotherhood. अगर हमें ब्रदरहुड और कॉपरेशन के ऑब्जेक्टिव को अचीव करना है तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है वेल्थ का वो बड़ा ही यूनिफॉर्म होना चाहिए। ये पाया गया है, ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को अकेले नहीं कर सकता। दिस हैज बीन प्रूव्ड बाय द एग्जांपल्स एंड बाय द स्टडीज दैट स्टेट और पब्लिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कैन नॉट परफॉर्म द जॉब ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑन देयर ओन, रेदर देन the alternative distribution system needs to be developed. ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ कि इन इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम not only the public, that is the government organization, rather than the alternative social organizations needs to be done, needs to be work properly. अब जैसे एक तो होती है फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन, बैंकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन, और एक होते हैं नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस। अब जैसे कल मुझसे किसी ने ट्रेनिंग से रिलेटेड ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि सर इंडिया में तो इस्लामिक फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं ही नहीं, तो हमारे ट्रेनिंग का स्कोप क्या है? तो हमारा ट्रेनिंग का स्कोप है वो तमाम अल्टरनेटिव डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, जिसमें आते हैं नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल कॉर्पोरेशंस, जिसमें आते हैं अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस which are working alternatively to the conventional economic system. Their objective is justice. Their objective is brotherhood, cooperation, and reduction in the gap of poor and rich. So if you explore that sector, you will see that there's a huge opportunity to work in it. आप इस सेक्टर को अगर एक्सप्लोर करेंगे तो आप पाएंगे it's a huge opportunity. It's a set of huge opportunity where we can get our entry. So we can explore those organizations for summer internship, which are the alternative institutions in an economic system, but they play a very active role. They play a very active role. So what we understood from this discussion, that if you wanted to uphold the objectives of economic system, Islamic economic system, you should have to follow 3-step approach. Now, what are these 3-step approach? You will please note it down if you want. 3-step approach is, number 1, socially motivated. Our objective, our sole motto is that we have to work for the welfare of humankind. Social objective is at priority number 1. So socially motivated is number 1. Number 2, morally oriented. That's very important. Value system should be upheld at the most. We should be trustworthy. We should be honest. So number 1 is socially motivated. Number 2, morally oriented. And number 3, economically guided. Economically guided. That is, at the same time we are social, at the same time we are morally strong, but at the same time we work according to the principles of economics. That is, we should understand the market forces, we should understand the concept of profit and loss, and we cannot overrule the existence of risk and loss. So if I quickly summarize what I discussed with you, is this summary, which is a 3-pronged approach. Please note it down somewhere, that you should be socially motivated, morally oriented, and economically guided. economically guided principle is very, very important, is very, very important for all of us. So, uh, any point that you would like to discuss with me, whatever I have discussed with you. I've started my discussion by giving you a brief overview about cooperation and uh, the concept of organization. Then I also brief you about the various aspect of consumers. How do we treat consumer in an Islamic economic system? That needs to be analyzed properly. And third and the last very important thing is the three prolonged approach which I have discussed with you. That is a socially motivated, morally oriented and economically guided. ये तीन एस्पेक्ट जो हैं सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है किसी भी सिस्टम में, और हम जिस सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं इस्लामिक इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम में, दैट इज नंबर 1 सोशली मोटिवेटेड, नंबर 2 morally oriented, and number 3 economically guided. If you have these three characteristics, you can work according to the principles of Islamic economic system. So before I conclude, anything that you would like to discuss with me on this issue?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So as you have told us that Islamic banking tries to avoid that trap thing, and moreover, Islamic banking is focused about innovation and business partnerships. So can we conclude that Islamic banking is an organization which is kind of Islamic banking does not promote consumer affiliated loans, for example, car loan, home loan.
No, Bilal, this is a very generalized statement. If you pass it on this type of statement, that is not be treated in the true sense. Islam is not against loan. We have a concept of loan. Khard al Hasan is a very prominent principle of Islamic, economic system. हमारे यहाँ से तो पहले से ही हमारे यहाँ we have a concept of khard, no problem. But loan based on the principle of interest, loan based on the principle of debt creation is not permitted, and that is why the contracts which I have just named it out in the initial part of the discussion, murahaba, musharaka, mudarba, these are the principles of lending. ये सब lending के ही principles हैं, but here lending is done by following the principles of Islamic economic system, Islamic banking, which is against the creation of debt. So जो डेट ट्रैप का मैंने आपको कंसेप्ट बताया था, वो ये कंसेप्ट बताया था कि any monetary policy or any portfolio which leads to the creation of debt, and once you enter into it, you cannot easily come out from it. That is a trap which I have referred to, and which is very common in case of conventional economic system and conventional financial system. Islamic banking clearly prohibits the debt creation, and that is why we devised an alternative mechanism of coming out from the debt and providing the loan which is free from debt and interest. I hope I am able to answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else? I have some study material, and I will scan that study material and send it to you. I have all the study material for all the 5 units. So I'm just finding it out, the selected portion which I have covered in my classes. Tomorrow I will again engage the class, and I think tomorrow the timing is 8 a.m. in the morning. So inshallah I will engage the class early in the morning, and then I will distribute. I will provide you the scanned PDF copy of the study material. Okay, Umama, is this fine? Okay. So now I am concluding my lecture. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you very much to all.